Hey everybody, and welcome to the Gauntlet. We go everything esports news. I'm your host, Captain Zeus. And today we got another recap on the latest Halo Pro Series tournaments. This is going to be for Halo 5 and for Halo MCC. Now, first things first, we have the results for the Halo MCC tournament. The latest one, H3 team once again won this tournament, going 15-1, winning the $600 prize. Imposters coming in second place, going 12-4, and Warriors coming in third place, going 10-3. It was a pretty good series this time. The Imposters coming up in second, Warriors up there in third. Typically, they're up in that top 5, top 8 crowd anyways. Crowd pleasers coming in fourth. They typically are up there competing for that top spot. But it's good to see H3 teams still keep their mantle up there. Good to see some other teams coming up on top. But it'll be interesting to see how these tournaments will continue going forward, and if anyone else is going to knock these guys off their pedestal. Now over to the Halo 5 side of things. For EU, Cartel claims the back-to-back championship for the tournaments, going 15-0 once again. Power, unfortunately, coming in second place, going 12-4, whereas Premium Milk back up there in the top 8, going 6-3, tied for 5th place. Cartel's looking like a pretty dominant force to be reckoned with. Power, another one to compete for that top spot as well. But it is good to see some consistent teams up there trying to fight for the top spot. Like I said, hopefully these guys can build more contending, arguments that they could compete against the NA side of the tournaments, because typically they're the dominant sides. Now over to the Latin America, Mexico area. We have just LATAM going in first place with 12-1 as their record. Tapping buttons, like I've mentioned previously, he's been in the H5 scene for a little bit now, and he was previously on a pretty good roster when Worlds was happening. It's good to see him back on the top spot here. Fire and Ice coming in second place, going 13-3 with a player of the name Magic Buttons. Don't know if those two guys are related, but he's on the second place squad. And we have some other new faces coming up there with like Mercy, No Aim, that kind of stuff. But it's good to see, like I said, some teams up there showing some dominance, showing some force. Hopefully these guys can build up some more aptitude and be a good contender for, if they do Worlds or even for Halo Infinite. For the NAZ side of things, you have On Top coming in first place with 12-1 as their record. Authority going 10-3. And then no one else really hit double digits on their wins. You had Porpoise Pain, interesting name, going 6-3. OE Baby going 6-4, and then everyone else 3 wins or less. So not a huge scene over there, it looks like, but people coming out on top. Someone's looking dominant, and that's good to see regardless. And finally, on the NA side of things, this is the open tournament. It looks like Passions came out on top, going 15-2. Flyers coming out in second, going 12-3, and then Amp Esports going 9-3. Savage Mode as well tied for that third spot, going 9-3. But looks like these are all pretty fairly new teams, except for Flyers. Unfortunately, couldn't take that top spot. Have always been trying to be in that top 8 talks, especially with the other pro teams. But it looks like all the previous pro teams decided to either opt out of it or didn't do so well. They most likely just opt out of it. But it's as good to see some teams coming out on top here. Commonly and Straight Sick on the Flyers roster, there are some pretty good pros that have been around since H2, H3. So it's good to see them, as well as some newer people come out on the scene and, put some competition out there. That's going to be the quick recap here for the Halo 5 and Halo MCC tournaments. We'll try to keep you guys up to date on those and retweet them when we can on our Twitter at Gauntlet News. Don't forget to like and subscribe and let us know your thoughts in the comments. I'm Captain Zeus, and we'll catch you guys in the next video. See ya.